Hey everybody!
It's Artist Wife, Writer Husband Podcast.
Podcast
Starring me, Artist Wife, Midnight,
and me, writer husband, Neff,
with our homie, MDC.
MDC.
Woo!
Come on down. Are you taking a picture? Are you recording?
Yeah, I'll take a picture.
Oh, okay.
Let's get right into this. What are we talking about today, Nephew Pooh?
We're talking about supporting projects that you might not, really like.
Supporting
What?
black projects we might not really like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supporting black projects that you might not really like.
There's no shame in it being here, but I think it's
In our
healthy
living
to say
room?
that we. No. There's no shame in it being that that exists. That you don't have to like every black project that comes and goes. That doesn't mean that you don't support it, unless it's.
I might not support it depending.
Yeah, we're not saying that these are projects that you shouldn't support, but
Okay, let's give an example. Okay.
cool.
So, recently, Cannon Busters came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Cannon Busters is anime created by LaShawn Thomas, who is this black animator that worked on Boondocks and
Black Dynamite.
Black Dynamite.
And a couple of other things.
just to name a few things. And I think he went to South Korea,
Yeah,
right?
he did some professional.
Was it South Korea?
Yeah, South Korea. South Korea.
Yeah, to
Some
do
professional animations.
animation, to work at an animation studio
Pretty
because of
amazing.
his love for anime
Yeah.
and whatnot. And he had released a comic. I actually got the first issue, Cannon Busters. He released it with Udon Comics as the publisher, and I think it was like 9 issues or so.
Or 7 or 9. Something like that.
Right. And then, so, he released a Kickstarter for the pilot episode, and it was funded. It reached over like $100,000 and whatnot. And, it ended up getting picked by Netflix. And I've been following this ever since the Kickstarter. Fortunately, I missed the Kickstarter, so I wasn't able to support it. But yeah, I've been following, just waiting to see the anime for so long. Like,
Same here too.
it was
Heard
like
about
the dopest thing.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's by a black creator with black characters, and it definitely gave you like it was like inspiring to see him go through the process, and like just the updates on Facebook and social media, and just like watching him create it and talk about it. We didn't really watch create it, but it was just really inspiring that someone was living the dream that a lot of us have, which is to go into the animation studio, just to get up there in the anime industry, in the animation industry.
Yeah, like if you was to have watched the Kickstarter video, it was dope. It had little snippets of how of the animation, how things was going to look and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was just really beautiful. I mean, because I've seen
It is.
black creators get on Kickstarter for their projects, and a lot of the times it wasn't they didn't reach their goal. And the main thing I thought about that, like the reason, oh my goodness, I was not speaking into the mic. The main reason I thought for that was because a lot of these people that was trying to do the projects, they weren't animators themselves. Like when you looked at crap, I forgot her name. The woman that created Bee and Puppy Cat.
That's not.
Oh my god, no, it's quiet.
Oh no, it's been a long time, and I do love being Puppy Cat, but besides the initial hype of it, it's kind of drifted away, and I'm kind of sad about that now that you reminded me.
Well, the main reason because of that, because it's on it's on that one app.
Just triggered NBC's.
It's created and written by Natasha Allegri.
Yes.
Allegri?
Allegri?
Allegri? Okay, yeah. Allegri. You said what?
Was that your laptop thingy?
No, I think it was MDC's.
Turn down your volume.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she did work on Adventure Time. In fact, she even created Fiona and uh, Cupcake. Fiona and it was Jake. I think it was.
No, I don't think it was her that created Fiona.
Yeah, I believe it was her. Oh, no, should have disagreed before talking. Let me just.
Fiona and Cake, you mean?
Fiona and Kate, yeah. It's really been a while, unfortunately. I miss Adventure Time.
Yeah, I still haven't seen the like the last episode. No, Fiona and Cake was created by Rebecca Sugar.
Oh, okay. Oops. But I know that she worked on Adventure Time, as much as I can tell you.
Yeah. Are you sure now?
Nope, not anymore. Alright, I'm gonna type her name in. I'm gonna put it right there. She worked on. Yeah, she worked on Adventure Time. Okay, cool.
Okay.
I knew.
Okay, so
She's
yeah.
a storyboard revisionist for Adventure Time.
Yeah, she worked on animations and stuff. And when you're asking for like, $50,000+ to support animation, people need to feel comfortable that you actually know what you're doing and that you've actually done something in the animation group when you're doing that much money.
Right.
And whatnot. They had to feel comfortable. And a lot of people felt comfortable with LaShawn Thomas that he was going to come through for them.
Right.
So skip ahead a few years and we get back to August, right? August, 2019.
Yeah.
It premieres, and
On Netflix.
soon as I see it, like I think I was watching The Office, and like as soon as that episode went off, I saw it in my queue, the first episode of Cannon Busters, and I'm like, Anna, come downstairs. We have to watch this. We have to at least, like, it was super
3 in
late.
the morning, too, so
Super
it's like
late. I was like, we have to watch this. We have to watch the first
literally
episode now.
zombie mode, working on a commission, just like getting through the last part of it. He's like, oh, we have to watch this, and I'm like, yes, we do. I will wake all the way up to watch this. Came downstairs, set it up, and we put on the first episode.
Right. Put on the first episode, and then throughout those following days, because I don't really like to binge watch stuff.
I did. I binge watched a lot. Ooh. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, I don't like to binge watch stuff normally, so I just like to pace stuff out and whatnot. And I don't know, we didn't really care for it all that much.
So he got to explain that part. First episode came super nostalgic. Got a Outlaw Star for me. I'm a huge fan of Outlaw Star. Inspired a lot of my work. Trigun inspired a lot of my world. Cowboy Bebop heavily.
Yeah, definitely got Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star. Definitely was feeling that.
Feeling that vibe, throwing that in there. Really loved it. Trigun, just all of it, just pulsing through me.
Like the main character definitely reminded you a lot of Spike.
Yes. He did. And I
The
thought
main
that was
male
perfect.
character, I mean.
Until you start to learn about him. And so for Neff, sorry, I was a little loud. For Neff,
Well,
I'm gonna nostalgia weird off.
Yeah, like around 5th episode and whatnot.
It took me till episode 8.
It got really confusing to who he was trying to appeal to.
Yeah,
and whatnot.
Review the whole thing.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do a separate video where we do like a full anime review with one of our very close friends, Ashley.
Oh, okay, we're just throwing it out there. Ashley, could have talking to you. You're gonna be here.
Does she have? Is she? Yeah.
Listen to us, yeah.
No, I was saying, does she have a pseudonym?
Yes.
Awkward sounds. I gotta put like the crickets chirping
Don't put the cricket.
in there. I think there's a cricket out back. But it's a possibility it won't be a male cricket. Okay, so Ashley, you know where you are. I mean, you know who you are.
Yeah,
I hope you know where you are too.
Where we are.
Come back to us. Come back to us. It's okay.
Please don't do.
Almost easy. Okay. Yeah.
Don't.
Alright, you're up on Instagram, so now I feel bad because now I don't know your Instagram handle. But we talk. Actually, I'm sorry.
Anna, you've really been sucking this week. You know how like there's this, and then earlier I had to go out the house like Batman in the middle.
Oh
of the
no,
day
we're not talking
with
about that.
Yes,
sealed
can we?
weapon.
There was a
Can we talk about
Somebody
that?
thought Casey
I want to say,
Johnson
is that
after her
profiling? Is that profiling?
No. Okay. Before you start saying that, all right, here we go. Interjection time. Okay. So I was at a rec center in 41. You know what 41 is? It's Capitol Heights, and it's considered the hood area. It's not really that hood. We're pretty close to Southeast DC though, so that should give you enough context.
You was
Right
at
across
a
the street.
culinary arts school
No, it is now a senior community center. Okay.
with a culinary arts class.
Yeah, with culinary arts.
See,
They have gym equipment on the
But before
football
it was all of
field.
that, it was the rec. It was where degenerates like myself during the time would go.
yeah,
and,
that's right. Make sure you add yourself.
Yeah.
To that. The only reason I was around is because of you, mofo.
Yeah, Jamal always left early too. He always left before stuff went down. We had friends. Remember Randy when he came and banged against the glass, but we weren't there though.
Okay, I don't remember that.
Yeah, exactly, because you weren't there. Cause
I remember when someone punched him in the nose because that person's a big bully.
Yeah, still a big bully too.
Yeah, that's why he's a cop.
Yeah, so
So I'm at the rec, and it's for a community day thing. It was really nice that we did this because there was a moment of silence for those who lived in the 41. So they like to
who
call it
lived in the neighborhood.
Yes, they lived in the neighborhood. There we go. That's what else it's called. For a very long time, and I lived there for about a good 10 years before we ended up having to go because my sister burned down the kitchen. Now forgive me for that. Well, I do forgive you because I wouldn't have moved into it. Anyways, I would have eventually. But this guy comes down the hill on what looks like a really cool motorcycle, but it's actually a moped. And he has the Jason mask on, and it's all white. And he has a backpack. And in his backpack are two silver pole-like blade things. He comes down the hill at the basketball court.
No,
in the back.
what did you think it was?
I thought they were swords. He was wearing a Jason mask, and he looked like he was riding a motorcycle.
A freaking text from her husband saying, "Hey Jamal, I think I need you to escort my wife and my two children back to your house."
I was
I'm
with
like,
the
"Why?"
kids. Just two of them.
She said there's a guy in a hockey mask riding around on a moped with two swords. And I'm like,
I gave him the correct information because at first I was going to take motorcycle, but he went around the school once because it's a rec center / it was a school, now it's just a center, and then he went around again. And my kids are in the moon bounce because it's community day stuff, and so I'm kind of hiding behind the moon bounce. And this guy is going past us, riding on his what I discovered is a moped, but he has a Jason mask on and these two poles,
here's the thing.
two of them.
Here's the thing, like,
Schwink.
I get this text message, and you can imagine, I probably thought this was a freaking prank. I'm like, what the heck? Like, the only person that will possibly do this in my neighborhood is me. So I'm kind of confused. It's like, okay, who's stealing my shit here? Like, who in the heck is riding around a freaking moped? And first off, you would never find me dead or halfway dead on a moped. So that's the first thing I'm slightly off about this.
Halfway dead.
And I'm like, a hockey mask and two swords. I'm like, and as the testing goes on, I realize, okay, this is serious. Okay,
Yeah.
let me go handle this.
Like as soon as she told me, I was like, okay, yeah, because I was she was with our two sons and I was with our two daughters.
Yeah, we split the parenting.
Over my brother-in-law's house, and like as soon as she said that, I was like, well, MDC, he should be home, so just head towards his house and whatnot, and I'll be on my way.
Yeah, so I'm Afro Geek. That's her handle. Actually, I remember.
Is it really? Holy crap!
You didn't remember, you just searched it.
Yep. I mean, but I had to it had to
So,
be.
anyways, to make a long story short, when I arrived there, like probably 15 minutes later, I'm surprised to see that they're, just now walking up to, MDC had met up with them, and they were just now walking up towards the house. And he's just, like, completely, like, livid. He's pissed at her. And I'm like, what happened?
Totally fair, too.
And basically,
I told him he should marry. I said it was a mistake marrying Anna. He should have freaking married that other one from 2 years ago by the same freaking name.
Wow, you traitor!
wait, the one with the rabbits?
No, I meant. Oh hell no, not her. Dude, We all dodged a bullet there. And some knives. No, I mean, he should have married Anna, but a different Anna, because this Anna's some garbage.
Yes, he
Like,
did say that.
I'm like,
The Anna from 5 years ago, because we moved to the neighborhood 5
but
years
if
ago.
remember what kind of neighborhood this
I
was,
used
and
to
that
see-
people ride around on ATVs, mopeds, and dirt bikes
With
masks
masks on
sometimes.
all the time, just
Yeah.
like a herd. Of
Literally
people
going
that
to
go
my
around.
brother-in-law's house, saw like 6 people.
The night
On
before,
dirt
I
bikes.
saw a whole crew of guys with riding around with masks on. I'm
When
like,
you
this
showed
is
up,
not weird around here.
there was a guy and his girlfriend on an ATV that just went right before he showed up. They just went past with the ATV, and I'm just like, oh yeah,
This is the same person
So, can I
that
say what it
forced me
was?
into a freaking pool area where they were shooting off fireworks in the bathroom and thought I was so concerned about it.
yeah. 5 years
Yo,
ago,
that
I was
is
so used to
that
it.
is pretty scary. That's uncomfortable. I won't lie.
Okay,
Okay, so yeah,
basically found out that this guy was an amputee. He was missing a leg. Those sticks in his bag were crutches.
Them swords in his bag
Swords in his bag
we're crutches,
were crutches that you can pull out and they because he was showing a kid that.
retractable
Yeah, they're
crutches.
retractable. I didn't know
Crutches.
what to call it. Just
Imagine being afraid of an amputee with crutches on his back because he needs crutches because he's an amputee.
And he
Wait.
was clearly using the moped to get around faster.
Yes. The drive it home, a kid was like coming up to him and like, oh, cool bike. But the kid was scared. Like as I was walking towards you, the kid was scared, and the guy was like, oh, you like my mask? Is it scary? And I'm just like, yeah, the fuck it is. I'm like, wearing it. But the kid was like, no, it's cool. I'm just like, no, it's scary. I thought it was. I was so embarrassed.
It's like I
I
was
wasn't
not.
stereotyping though.
Let me put it to you
Scary.
this way: I was not wearing clothes when I got that text message. I didn't want to put on clothes. I put on clothes.
He came out with a concealed.
I came out with a concealed weapon that had to double conceal because walking around with a freaking melee weapon and a freaking melee bag is suspicious enough, so I had to put it in a plastic bag, which is against my aesthetic.
But
But
guess
I
who?
made the sacrifice.
Guess who appreciates you more?
Guess who's gonna punch you every time I see you? I punched you that day.
He did.
Okay, so that was a nice little interjection, nice little story time. But
I'm sorry.
yeah, it's just to get back to everything.
Yeah, so
Um,
Cannon Busters, we're not gonna review it.
Yeah, not now, but
Yeah.
yeah, Cannon Busters definitely wasn't my cup of tea,
I'm
and
disappointed in it, but I wanted to like it, and I'm willing to give season 2 a chance.
but I want to support it,
But I want to
like
support
regardless, because of what it is.
it. Yeah.
And that's the whole point of this podcast, because it's to ask the question: is that wrong?
You know, I'm gonna say this. Actually, I'm gonna give you another good example. The movie Us, by Jordan Peele, his second
You
movie.
didn't like it? I don't know anything about it.
Well,
Yeah, we
I'ma
haven't
say
seen
this. Have y'all seen it?
No, we haven't seen it.
Okay. So first
Don't
of all,
spoil it.
I'm gonna say like everyone say, it's not Get Out. Don't expect Get Out.
We haven't seen that either.
Get Out.
Why'd you tell him?
Douchebag. You know where I live, fool. I have the movie on DVD. Where are you?
You did.
Why didn't you bring it
Why did you
over?
bring it now? Oh, I guess he wouldn't have known we didn't see it.
Why would I bring it on podcast night? You freaking,
That's a good point. What
God, I freaking hate y'all.
Podcast night. We have it every 5 months.
That's a very relative answer. It's barely that. Freaking douchehead. Anyway. God, y'all just. Anyway. Okay. Get Out is a near perfect movie. I would defend that against anyone, even Thanos. Thanos can see me on the block.
Mhm.
Anyway, so Us. I watched Us. Me and my mom watched it, as a matter of fact. And so this is what I'm gonna say about that movie, right? On one hand, first of all, I want to point out this stupid meme I've been seeing. It's like a new horror movie's coming out, and it's like, "Yay!" by Jordan Peele. Yeah, I'm gonna pass. I think that's the most ignorant thing I've seen.
The fuck?
Why would it?
First of all,
Wait, hold on. Is it like white people saying it or like black people
I
saying
don't
it?
have to specify. You already know.
Yeah, alright.
There's no specifying that. But let me say the reason I find that ignorant is because this is just his freaking second movie. Y'all remember when M. Night Shyamalan was the shit? And actually, I say that theoretically because honestly he has come back quite well, as a matter of fact.
I haven't
But
seen any of his latest films.
his latest
I haven't seen a lot of films now that we're talking on the subject of films.
Yeah. So I want to say, like, let's go back to, like, first it was Sixth Sense, then it was Unbreakable, then it was Signs. That's when he was.
Oh yeah, he did do Unbreakable.
Yeah. So that's when, like, around that time he was the shit. Then the
Oh
Village
yeah,
came
he
out.
did the latest two movies. Glass.
Split and Glass.
Yeah. I haven't seen them. I
Glass
want to
is a
see them.
movie.
Yep.
I've seen
Yes.
It's a sequel to Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Or is it a prequel?
Or is it? I don't know. I just know that it. they
Well,
made it
actually, y'all
afterwards.
leaving the movie out of this, so I'm just not gonna comment.
Well, it's a sequel to Split.
They're all in the same universe. I'll just
Yeah.
say that.
Oh.
But is it like sequential?
Yes, it is. So you do want to watch it in that order: Unbreakable, Split, and Glass.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be. I don't know if we're gonna get into Glass on this episode.
I love Samuel L. Jackson.
But one thing I'm gonna say, personally, I love that ending because I had a short that was just like it, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
Going back, but long story short, I thought that was an ignorant comment because, to be honest, I'm really sensitive. Like I'm gonna say this. I'm real sensitive.
In general.
No, I'm
I'm
not.
just like, yes.
Well, you didn't let me finish.
I'm joking,
'cause
I'm joking.
Generally, I don't care about anyone's damn films. But
That is true though.
that's not true. I mean, I do. I'm
But
just.
do you want me to?
This conversation is so confusing.
Okay, I'll say this. I'm a bit of a asshole who cares. Okay. So yeah. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is that I'm really sensitive when people review black films because there's cultural contents that need to be addressed before you can judge it as compared to your typical white movies. Like I always felt like that's the thing. Like sometimes especially when Get Out came out. Get Out is low-key controversial because that movie is directly attacking white liberalism. And so when some white people will say they ain't get it or they don't like it, I'm just like, that doesn't really surprise me to be honest because you're probably the exact person this movie's criticizing, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Now, and when I say this, what up?
Sorry, no, continue.
Okay. And when I say this, I mean, anytime you watch a movie, you know, when you watch a Japanese movie or a movie from a foreign country, you already have made it up in your mind that you have to kind of adapt yourself to the cultural sensibilities.
Oh yeah,
Whereas-
like with a Japanese movie, the visual effects aren't gonna look that great.
Okay, that's a damn lie.
That is not a
That is
damn lie.
damn lie.
No, it
Yes,
isn't.
it is a damn
Name
lie.
one
Yeah.
Japanese film with great special effects.
Full Metal
Freaking
Alchemist.
Ichi the Killer.
Attack on Titan.
Each of the Killer. No, it
Did
wasn't.
you even watch that movie?
Yeah, that's the one with the blades on the feet, right?
It's more than that, but yes. I don't recall you watching that. I don't believe
I remember the ending
There is a huge genre.
because the
in
dude
foreign
took the
film
spikes and da in his right
that gives it the term of low budget.
Okay, fine.
because he
But-
kept on right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
just
well,
made a bunch of
anyway,
sound
Negro.
there's
effects. I have
other
no idea.
examples.
Because I'm not trying to ruin it for our listeners. I
Oh,
care
okay,
about
that's
them.
what sound
You're a
effects.
smart man, man. But anyway, okay. Long story short, shut up.
just a
Long story
man.
short, in the case of America, especially with us as Black Americans, or African, whatever, we
Mm.
are kind of in our own country.
I like to be called colored.
I'm gonna throw you out.
Wow.
Ignore me. Ignore me. Go on.
Yeah, please ignore this
Please.
freaking house
Which is the
Negro.
one?
I just. Hey, is it wrong? Sorry, you just made me think about fucking Clerks 2 when I think Randall, he was like, no, we should take back Porsche monkeys.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Because he didn't know it was a racial connotation for black people. Because his grandma would always say it.
Oh, okay. That's a fair topic too. I mean, I didn't grow up too much with it, so I don't have much to say on it. But it's a fair topic.
We should take back colored people. We're colorful like the rainbow.
What is that?
That gave us way too many derogatory terms. What the hell,
They
y'all?
really didn't like
Just
it.
anything that just came to their goddamn mind.
Yeah.
Jigaboo. Like, what the heck is a jigaboo?
Get
Who knows?
Anyway, so what was I talking about?
What was it?
Yeah, okay, so yeah, when it comes to Black America, you know, we're honestly kind of in our own country when you really think about it, because our experience is so like as they've been saying for years, there's two different countries here, which actually is funny because that's kind of what us was about, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So what I mean when I say this is I feel some kind of way when, like I say, non-whites talk about black movies sometimes, and it's like it's not all the time, because there are a lot of trash black movies. Let's be real, but there's also a lot of ones that do take some cultural sensibility to fully understand.
I mean,
Right.
to be fair, there's a lot of trash white movies too. So
Man, there's a lot of trash
I feel like even more trash white movies, but
As
Okay,
as
so-
one of my friends said, most movies are actually bad.
That's actually a true statement.
so one of my friends, who's an officer, he
Took a suck off of beer into that.
is hat.
Really? I think there's only one person here that's into that.
Okay, now what?
I'm a guy. What the?
Wait, there's a specification for that for real?
Yes.
Of course there is.
Why?
What
First
the
of
hell?
all, as a heterosexual cisgender male, yes, I'm not gonna be a child.
I feel like feet should be like.
No.
Okay, let's stop.
As feet fetish on tour will tell you, there is a major difference between women's feet and men's feet, both culturally and physically. I am insulted by this.
Okay. Wow, I'm stepping on
One,
some toes here.
I'm insulted.
Okay, I'm gonna give you that one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm insulted for the most part because you said only there's one people.
What do you mean there's one people? I said one people.
Like you said, there's only one person.
In those toes?
No.
Oh, well, wait a second. Hold on, I'm learning something new. Wait a second.
I'm learning something new too. What?
Wait, what?
You already knew.
You
I
knew?
did?
Yes, you knew.
And you wouldn't tell his wife?
Wait, hold on. We're not getting into this. This is a fucking family-oriented podcast. We're not getting into fucking fetishes.
Okay, that's a
You
fucking
just
lie.
said the fuck word.
Fuck is family friendly. What the fuck are you talking
It's
about?
family friendly.
How you think he created the family?
You know he's fucking ready.
Yeah, that's fucking true.
I'm just gonna say fuck every time I want to fucking
Fuck
talk.
yeah, motherfucker.
We're gonna talk more about that now. I didn't
What did?
know about
Oh
that.
my goodness.
No, I'm not letting that go.
Why are you pointing at my own feet? I'm not attracted to it.
Wait,
Or?
so for real though?
For real what?
Not even your own feet?
No, I'm my own feet. I'm not attracted to my own. Okay, maybe I am attracted to my own,
Yeah, I feel like,
But, no.
I like my own boobs. I don't see why that's like a.
But are you
Wow,
sexually
that's
attracted
pretty-
to your own boobs?
Oh, okay. I guess.
Okay, we're supposed to be about art. Stop
Oh
this.
yeah, sorry.
I
sorry.
definitely wouldn't have sex with myself. Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
I might be a little gay for myself.
I'm inserting crickets chirping for that. I'm sorry, isn't that masturbation?
Yeah. I'm okay with
No,
myself.
masturbation is different though.
It's self-love. It's basically having sex with yourself.
But no, if I was a different body, would I have sex with myself?
I
Like,
think I would.
that would be incest because that would be my twin.
No.
What
We're
if
not
it's a
going-
clone?
No, it would be
like
your
the one
clone.
Anderson beats of you in the closet.
Okay, can we not bring up that doesn't exist?
You sure?
That brings in
Does it-
so many problems.
does it not?
Like mental disorders.
Does it not? Do clones have rights?
They would. They
You
should.
know, there should be science fiction about this. Like, what would have? What? I mean, is it wrong to have sex with your clone?
Isn't there something about? There's nothing about this at all.
Is it wrong to beat your wife's clone?
Well, okay. Star Wars had a whole clone society. Well, they were really just a clone.
Wait, hold on. Why did she say that? As if there wasn't a fucking movie named Attack of the
Oh
Clones.
yeah.
Damn.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was remembering the whole movie and I said it in such a way.
Like, hey, I remember there being clones in Star Wars.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, wait, they
I think they
clones
were
of
also
one
Jedi
person,
too.
right?
They were clones of one person.
So what is that considered? Like he was killing. They were kind of killing.
Well, they weren't killing themselves. They were.
Right, they weren't killing themselves.
Yeah.
Neither was the person that they was cloned
But
after
that's
killing
definitely
them.
not suicide, though. You can't. Killing your clone is not suicide.
No, because suicide
How is
like-
killing your clone suicide?
It's not, though. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, it's not.
therefore,
Suicide is
having
homicide.
a sexual clone isn't masturbation. Therefore, it must be sex. Therefore, I would have to be gay to have sex with myself. So basically, I wouldn't have sex with myself because I'm not gay.
I have sex with myself.
You know, there's a reason. There's a point we get too far away from God.
Yeah, we're getting so far away
Clones just to
from.
have sex with them. I think that's pretty.
That's freaking twisted.
Yeah, that kind of is. I mean, but then I kind
No,
of create.
that's not
sci-fi.
twisted. That's like super conceited.
That is.
That is like super conceited. Like my parents created such a fucking sexy beast. I need more.
Yeah, like just game bang yourself. Like,
Stop.
I'm having a self orgy over here.
Oh my
It would be a
goodness.
self-orgy. If there was more than 3, I guess.
So it would be called self sex then.
Yeah, wouldn't it be like self-sex?
Wow, that should be. That's the name of a story right now. Self sex.
I'm totally gonna go into like a little short, like a little one-shot.
So okay, no. Here's what I believe. I believe.
You know what's crazy about this?
But
This-
not reproduction. just
We're
sex.
not even off subject from us. That's the wildest thing about this conversation.
That's weird. I don't understand that. But no, the thing about it is, if clones become widely available to people and people can have sex with clones, there would have to be an entirely new word created for that.
Yeah, we couldn't call them clones.
Creed term. No,
You
not
tell
a
me
new
if
word
it's
for
a clone.
stones. I mean, not a new word for clones.
Name stones and things.
A new word for having sex with clones. Being
Oh.
sexually attracted to clones would have to create an entirely new word and condition for that.
Like something that, of course, creation because we'll like people.
Well, actually, at the same time, killing
Narcissism?
your clone would have to be its own terminology too.
Narcissex? Because you know
Narcissist.
right?
Narcissex.
Narcissex sounds better.
Narciss.
I think narcissist sounds better. Like someone who's a narcissist.
I'm a narcissexual.
Yeah, I'm a narcissexual. I fuck myself. That's really interesting thing to say to
Golly.
somebody. You know what?
But you know what's funny? As time goes
Narcissist
on,
coming soon.
terms change because I saw this shirt. It was like a right winger shirt. It said, "If I see you stomp the flag, I will eat your ass." It's like, man, they
Ooh.
are so out of date. So different now. It's like,
Oh boy.
so yeah.
You can tell that was like a baby boomer. Like I saw on Facebook, like it was like, yo, parents can say like the
Gayest thing.
yeah, the gayest things.
Like, it was like, can I play 1 minute? I'm gonna play your ass if you don't go to bed. Hold up.
Hold up.
You know, just and stroke and blow.
Oh god.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go. Throwback to last episode.
Last episode, follow us on Twitter.
Woo.
We don't have a Twitter.
We don't know the Twitter. Yeah, we have an Instagram.
We have Instagram. You can follow it. Don't expect anything from it.
No, we expect stuff from it soon.
That's depressing.
Yeah, our Facebook is. But we're gonna be transferring to Instagram soon. Anyway, we're
Soon.
talking about
Yeah.
This Is Us.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's not called This Is Us. This is just us.
This is us, the TV series. Oh gosh.
Something I don't watch. I don't know.
Unless you like crying a lot, I cry a lot.
I
Yo.
don't probably want to cry.
Yeah, that's pretty good, dude.
It's amazing. I love it.
I watched one
Really
episode.
Brown.
I watched one episode when I was at the laundromat one time, and I was like, "Yo, Anna, come over here, watch this with me." And she was like, "No, it looks dumb."
Why do you keep
And
saying
then
I
she
said
watched
that?
it later with her sister.
And I cried.
Binge watch it.
You
I
know,
can't keep watching it. It hurts.
it's not
I have to
surprising
take a
hearing you
break.
cried over a show considering you thought there was a freaking serial killer running around on a moped.
Oh man.
You're not leaving this down. Anyway, back to us.
Us.
As in us, I mean the Jordan Peele film. Anyway, so yeah, okay. So let me quickly kind of give like a small review without talking too much.
Quickly. Talking too much.
So-
Out.
Wait, hold on. A review of the film?
Well, no, not really.
Oh, okay.
Let me just say what I was gonna say.
Okay.
I'm talking about fucking clones again.
And narcissist.
Narcissist.
It's a trademark word.
Continue the conversation in the comments. Would you have sex with your own
Yeah, I
clone?
actually do want to know that. Would you?
God, imagine having a three-way with your spouse with your own clone.
Oh,
and
no.
their clone.
But that wouldn't
I
be
would
illegal
feel like that would be like the bestest thing
because we know what we
For
we know how to play ourselves.
Holy
the person for that person.
I would need that clone to share consciousness or to be able to like download my consciousness every now to it, like so we share the experiences.
I'm
together.
sorry,
Yo,
what?
What if your clone was gay?
Well, that's not fair because I want to have sex with it. But well, no, I can have sex. Well, wait. It would have to be gay, right?
Holy. Wait,
Well, is that
what if they're
considered
straight?
No, your clone can have its own sexual orientations. It's just look like you. It isn't you.
No, I want it to be me so that we know how to take care
Why
of
would
each
you
other.
want to fuck yourself, Anna?
Why wouldn't I?
Why would you want it to go through the same problems that you want? That's
Hey.
pretty fucked up.
Oh, okay. I'm not trying to create an entire new entity here. I have kids for that. I want this clone to be me exactly, so we know everything about what all we've been through.
And I'm gonna tell you,
Have you not seen enough movies where the clone kills the person because of that? Like, let's not create that.
You're gonna get tired of yourself, man.
I
I know that for a fact.
Yeah, it would be literally the most boring person and the most boring conversation that you can have.
Because I always know what we're talking about, or I'm
No,
a
I'm
person?
speaking that subjectively, not like specifically to you, but
Oh,
anyone
okay,
who
that's
has a
awesome.
clone that's exactly like them. Like, I can imagine the conversation. You're sitting on the couch and you're like, "Hey, you ever seen? Yeah, I did.
Fuck you.
Oh, do you want? Yeah. Oh, okay.
Okay, I get it. You know what
the
consciousness.
twins in the second Matrix. We are getting aggravated. Yes, we are.
Okay, so
That was.
okay.
They were so cute. They finished their own sentences.
I don't want to clone
That
that.
caught me really off guard for some
That's
reason.
adorable. That's adorable. Okay, I want. Okay, you know. Okay, so let me say this then. Jamal, you probably didn't watch.
They totally had
No,
sex
so-
with each other.
I don't know how much of it you actually
I
watched.
have not seen a single freaking episode.
Not
of Naruto.
one.
No,
You should.
I don't want.
Well, yeah, he told
At
me.
this point, it's
Wait, hold on. Why are we even talking about Naruto? We're
Wait,
talking about
okay.
Black Projects.
Okay, Black Projects.
Okay, all right.
We'll come back to clones later because I had a whole point about Naruto on clones. Go
You
on.
remember what clone this episode? But okay.
Nothing ever happened with his clones.
No,
He was just a pervert.
No.
but the clones were able to be their own person. But when they came back, they gave themselves the information.
Okay, speaking of clones, us.
All right,
Damn
us.
it.
Yeah, cause
Ice.
us.
Oh, us.
Ice, baby.
Fuck you. I hate that. Don't make me shoot you.
But I gotta
Okay,
do that.
back to us. All right. So, okay.
And
This is what I'm gonna say about us. There's a lot of really intelligent decisions made in that movie. I was actually extremely impressed by that. And without spoiling nothing, this one I'm gonna tell you what my issue was. The main big reveal plot. Ultimately, I'm like, okay, how the hell is this even possible to have happened? And it's honestly the same issue I had with Glass. Glass is another movie I like. And like I said, I love the ending regardless of what anyone thinks of it. I thought the ending was genius. And it's completely what I would want to see in a type of movie like that. But then I had to ask myself, like, okay, how is this even plausible to begin with? And when I say this, it's like, I've been critical of this before. I feel like sometimes we as black people, you know, because we have to struggle for everything we get most of the time, we tend to give a lot of credit to things that need to be heavily criticized too. I felt this way about Black Panther. Like, I was like, you know, generally I liked the movie, but I hated the third act. I thought the third act was some trash. I also feel like that's also mostly because of the fact that it was part of the MCU, because Ryan Coogler is a great director. Fruitvale Station and Creed were great. So I feel like things fell apart in the third act because he had to ultimately compromise with the fact that it was part of a much bigger universe. Because I can tell you, I actually told someone the other day that of how I would have done like the final act of Black Panther that would have led up to a sequel, etc., etc. I'm not gonna get into that right now. But long story short,
I do want to hear about that though.
oh yeah. But long story short, it's like a lot of people, hey, even white people should have petrified and criticized Black Panther in most
That's they
cases.
should be.
Well, see, that's the thing. They really shouldn't be, but
Has a movie and has a movie goer and a movie lover. Even like in the MCU universe, I feel like they have every right to criticize the movie. Just like MDC said that the third act was kind of it was kind of weak. I feel the same way because it's literally after the whole Killmonger sitting on the throne scene where it flips over. That's kind of where I kind of stopped watching when I would rewatch the film
yeah.
and whatnot because you got the big battle. And a lot of that was just, CG and whatnot. It started to follow the whole superhero formula to movies
But I think it's
and
fair,
whatnot.
'cause you
But-
brought a valid point.
Yeah, but it was definitely a beautiful movie, and I wouldn't hate or think differently if a white person was to say the same thing.
And now, and that criticism in particular, I agree with. Now, when it comes to like white criticism of the movie, when they say they don't see the big deal, I'm like, stop, because That being said about Black Panther, it's really, really hard for me to call it overrated because as a person, I'm always throw this out there every time because I gotta argue with people who don't study nothing. As a person who's been studying ancient African culture for over a decade, and just knowing, being knowledgeable of black culture in general, being black, there was a lot of things in that movie I felt like only we would really understand. Like the black nerdism, like freaking Killmonger basically being freaking Vegeta
That's
to
great.
T'Challa's Kakarot. That works with us because a lot of us grew up watching Toonami and really responded to Dragon Ball Z. That was our thing. So seeing that getting thrown in there or hinted at was very significant for a lot of black nerds. Also seeing African culture as well as black culture intertwined in the story in this sort of it addressed some issues that never really get addressed in movies, like the sort of separation between being black and African. Like that was
Yeah.
something that really got addressed in that movie that was really important and done in a superhero film that usually wouldn't touch a subject that strong.
Right.
And those type of things, as well as having dark skinned, beautiful black women in very empowering roles, and etc. It's like I can't just call this movie overrated. It's like I can't just do that. There's a lot to criticize about it for sure, but that's just my point. When I'm like, I feel really sensitive sometimes when non-blacks criticize certain black movies because there's things in there that only we will understand. It's kind of like if someone just came to me and they thought that said, if someone came to me and was like, they thought Akira was born or something. I'm like, you that's just disrespectful both anime and Japanese history because Akira is a very, very post World War II story for Japan. As Godzilla is, that's a very post World War II story as well. And you kind of, it's like obviously during their times people would have understood that, but when you come in late, generations later, there's, the thing about nerdism in general, there's more to it than just enjoying stuff. You also have to have a strong understanding of these things in the cultural context that they exist in. It's not enough just to be entertained or not entertained because there's so many other things that frankly you just wouldn't understand without the knowledge to understand it.
Or at least the willingness to want to go and understand it.
Yeah.
Because the one thing about movies is they open up your world if you want it to different timelines, to different time places, to like the historical meaning or the cultural meaning of this specific era and the way things were this way.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't have to have if you don't have a strong understanding of it. The idea that through this movie you might get a feel of it. Movies do a great job of evoking emotions that you would have never have felt
Exactly.
if you didn't experience it through these characters' eyes. A great movie gives you that feeling. On the topic of Black Panther, yes, I do believe that anybody of any race and any color and any age can enjoy the movie and can criticize the movie if your criticism is as an actual critique and not just you coming down on it. Black Panther to me was amazing because for the first time for me, I saw many different races of Africans not depicted in huts and in skirts and beads and in what a lot of times we were taught here in America to be uncivilized or savage, cultures. The idea that Africa is this blooming, prosperous city. Oh, sorry, prosperous. I can't say it without pronouncing the P R. Prosperous city, technologically advanced. That they have roads and these beautiful, happy black. My favorite scene is when T'Challa and Nakia are walking through the city, and you have like different views of Africans just dressed so like cool and chic, and they're like hanging out at a coffee shop that's like beautifully arranged. Like that's ingrained into my mind, that scene when they're just like in the crowd and these people look so happy, so beautiful, so them, that they're allowed to explore fashion senses and or just be like in these tones and different colors. It's like, and then you go to Killmonger in America and it's muted colors and the black community looks sad, and like even for movies like that to understand it, there's a lot of art that goes into it. So it's like there's a whole team that helps develop it, and you're allowed to criticize how maybe in some ways you didn't feel like it didn't do. I felt like Black Panther wasn't a beautiful movie. cinematically and artistically, I saw nothing. Every scene from the nightmare, not nightmare. I'm sorry, the
Dream sequence.
dream sequence was gorgeous. I love the color tones there. It's literally like I will always try to reenact it. The scenes where he was, like I said, the city scene, or when they were saving the in the very beginning where he jumped down to the jungle and they were fighting the mercenaries trying to save the women. Like I really love the tones there and the way they did the lighting and then like the flashing the guns as he would disappear and come. Like I love the sequences, but I do agree with especially when Killmonger flipped it up. The screen flipped upside down. He sat in the chair and it denoted a new change in regime and how things would be different and just how chaotic it would be. Loved it.
Yeah.
But I do agree, the third sequence and a little bit of the fourth sequence, but the fourth sequence for me picked up, fourth part. The third sequence did fall a little flat. And I understand that you understand a bit more of the director and the writing part of it though. And
Yeah.
so does Neff. I think it's amazing that, to discuss things about that and in healthy ways talk about it because we still want to support these things. We still want Ryan Coogler to do more.
One thing I always say, at the end of the day, Hollywood can't say nothing anymore about black cinema after Hidden Figures, Straight Outta Compton, Get Out, and Black Panther. We got a drama, a hood drama, a superhero movie, and basically a black horror film. All of them were killing records and successful. There's no more argument that black films are successful, and I always want to support those films, but at the same time, well, we're definitely going to get more into this about personal interests. But one thing I want to go back to us, and what I was trying to get at with that is that I definitely want to support Jordan Peele because, black films today are different than they were years ago because there was a time where they started very heavily pandering, trying to give black people what they think black people want, which is not the case. Black people, at the end of the day, you're not entirely free of racism until you've officially recognized that literally at the end of the day, every single person on this planet is their own individual person. We're just dictated by our culture and society, etc. But at the end of the day, we all got the same crap running through our minds. We all got the same experiences, and we want the same things at our core. And it's not until artists and entertainers recognize that when they can really give us art and entertainment that is really rewarding beyond what is expected. And that's something that black films and black creators have been cursed with for a very long time. But recently I've been seeing a change with that. And I definitely want to support that. And when I see us, because to be honest, us is not, that's another reason it's different than Get Out. Because Get Out is definitely about the black experience. Where Us only slightly, Us is actually bigger than that. It features a black cast because Jordan Peele said straight up he doesn't really plan on casting any white people because he's seen that in major roles because he's seen that, like as we all have seen that, and he has no reason to apologize for that.
Yeah,
and
I agree with that because there's an experience that deserves to be told that should be told if it's a black experience by black people,
exactly,
black actors. That's completely fair.
But the thing about Us, there's nothing really specifically black about that movie. There's hints here and there, and like I said, it's there slightly, but like I said, the overall plot and message of the movie is a lot bigger than just race. And that's one thing I did like about the movie. Like overall, its overall message was great. Like I said, I love a lot of very intelligent film techniques it has. It's just, I think I told someone, it's like, it'll definitely probably become a cult favorite, and it'll probably grow on a lot of people in time. But like I said, it's just that there's this one major factor about the movie that just kind of doesn't really make sense to me, that kind of brings the movie down. But long story short, as I say, I definitely am still continuously supporting Jordan Peele and what he does because he's really putting out some very different, deeper horror movies from a perception that has been that hasn't been regularly addressed.
And just
Also,
the
I'll be ready.
just the okay, this is awkward, but just to add to that, yeah, even though I haven't seen Get Out or Us, I'm still looking forward to see what he has done with or what he's doing with Twilight Zone. because
Yeah. Oh yeah.
he's
Definitely.
working on that new the new Twilight Zone and whatnot, and I'm really looking forward to that. I really want to see that. I know some people, they were against the idea of him working on it, saying that, oh, it's going to be don't make it about cultural problems and ethnics and stuff like that.
I'm sorry. I've
Sorry,
never seen
ethics.
Twilight Zone before.
Right. It's like that's what someone said. It was like, have you never watched the original Twilight Zone?
Yeah, there's an
Because that's what
entire
all of
episode.
that was about.
Yeah, there's literally several episodes. One of them that I saw more recently about American beauty standards and the
Yeah.
toxicity of it. Like that's definitely cultural. That's
Beauty
there's like
standards,
so many things.
race. One was specifically about racism,
One of them even talked about
where the guy like went back in time and he was I think he was a runaway slave or something. He was being
yeah,
chased
sorry.
after people.
People did memes kind of sort of on that one for like a second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that and whatnot. For Jordan Peele though, I can't, because I haven't seen his two films. Sorry, it's
Not
kind
that
of
we
late.
don't want to.
Yeah, I just haven't got around to seeing it,
Yeah.
but I'm definitely will. We might do a review on that. I don't know, but yeah. I'm like, I really enjoyed him on his sketch show with Keegan and whatnot, and I support him. One of the things that I remember hearing about him in an interview with Aries Spears, like he was saying like they didn't really seem, you know, all that black and whatnot.
That's very hurtful.
Yeah, he think that he said in a later interview like he felt like that really hurt his chances to when he had actually went to be cast in the film and whatnot. He think he really hurt his chances because he pretty sure that got back to Jordan and whatnot, that he said that and whatnot.
I mean, yeah,
And
that's kind of
because I mean you look at him, he's all about supporting black people, even if he doesn't seem like,
doesn't have the supposed mannerisms that are like prevalent in the black community. That's very hurtful. Like,
or yeah, I mean, and
it's
we
all
talked about this.
uplifting.
We talked about this in one of our whatchamacalls with cartoons, that black people come in all different shapes and sizes, walks of life, have all types of interests, and things of that nature. So really, when people say you don't act black, it's like, stop it. What does that mean?
Yeah.
What
You're
does that
basically
mean?
stereotyping us within our own community.
I mean,
That's a
I'm
huge problem.
Oh, I'm
pretty
sure
certain
nailed it.
from from my wife, I'm definitely for me, and I'm pretty definitely sure with MDC that we've been told that countless times.
All
But
throughout middle school.
yo,
It's just a huge like cultural stigma within the black community, and I do agree with you, MBC, when you had said that the African American diaspora, very much feels um, like its own country because of our own experiences that can't really be replicated by other cultures, or other the black experience, the black African American experience is, ties to here. Not saying that it's not like others, but it's our own experience.
But one thing,
What do you think?
well, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out, is this something I should say now? I'll say this. If there's an opportunity for me to say what I was going to say, we'll come back to it. So, yeah, go on.
Okay. I mean, and this goes on for LaShawn Thomas.
right?
In the sense of,
Because even though we didn't care for Cannon Busters, I still want to support him. Like, I heard that he got another.
that's what I was going to bring up. He's doing season 2 of Cannon Busters. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to support it. I'm going to tell everyone to watch it. Because you should be able to get your own experience.
But is that
from it.
fake?
That's a good question. Just because I
Yeah,
didn't like it,
that's the point of the podcast.
Well, I'm going to ask you this.
Okay.
Am I,
I'm going to support it. It shows you either as well.
should I support Beyonce?
That's a good question. Well,
And if I'm obligated to support Beyonce, I feel like everyone else is obligated to support Grace Jones.
yeah. Let's say this. If you don't know about it, okay. So support comes in many different shapes and sizes, right? Support doesn't always mean, you know, that scream to the top of the world about them or buy every single album even if you'll never.
Personally, I'm
listen to
not a
it.
fan. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, we understand. But I mean, okay,
I'm
so
not a big fan, but I'm a fan.
Beyonce is so freaking huge. It wouldn't even matter whether you support her or not. And you already know that, like sports, stereotypically speaking, blacks rule that field. Music.
Well, actually, I'll give you a good point right there. I'm not a sports person at all, but I support Colin Kaepernick in his protests.
Yeah, things
I
like that.
also never shut up about Muhammad Ali or any athlete that has stood. And actually, I'll even go further. When it gets down to it, I definitely support black people as a whole for achieving greatness in general.
Yeah.
And giving back.
And giving back. And standing up for something. I mean, that to me is something that goes beyond my personal interests. It's like, I don't give a damn about sports really, but the fact is, these people did these things to get where they were and to be able to have a voice to support us as a whole. Muhammad Ali was being a champion for black people as a whole. He didn't discriminate what black people supported. He supported all black people.
Right.
As Eartha Kitt did when her career went down because she spoke up in the White House, mind you. As the opera singer, oh my God, I cannot think of his name right now. I'm going to look it up real quick while I'm talking, so don't bear with me right now.
Okay, well, while he's looking that up,
You should support black success. Like, you should
gotta
not be embarrassed
take
of it. If the person is good. Like, go ahead. I just want to say that part.
oh, wait, what are you saying? Say that again.
What? You should support you as
Paul Robeson.
Damn.
There we go.
I felt like the Jeopardy, the Jeopardy tune was just going for that, like just ticking. Like I had legit forget that he was searching something that fast.
I was saying you should support black success and like black people pushing into good role models because.
But okay, but
See, that's just the thing right there because that can be relative to.
I feel like it's so stereotypical though for things like music and sports. Not saying that you can't, like when people knelt and raised their fists in the last Olympics, like that was dope. That was dope. Or the sportsmanship that you saw between the two tennis players, Osaka, and I can't remember the young girl's name.
Golf?
Yes.
That was amazing.
Like that's dope
That's
and
great.
whatnot. But like in situations where like Jay-Z, after trying to get Travis Scott not to participate in the Super Bowl and then sign up with teams up with NFL, and then we found out that what they had planned is kind of lame, kind of whack from what I was reading. Like, do you still support them? And then to add to it, a lot of these people are making millions and millions of dollars in a field that is highly saturated by our people and whatnot. That wasn't done. So what about the blacks that are in animation where there isn't a lot of us that are in comic books? What about the young guy that I mean technically this is a sport, but fencing, that's that's something that you don't really know about, but like last time I heard, one of the best fencing competitors was black.
Yeah.
And whatnot.
I think a couple of them, as a matter of fact.
Or in
That's
fields
crazy. I
of
didn't know that.
in fields of science.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, yes.
Yeah.
Freaking don't even get me started.
Do you know how many times I've run across my timeline? The first black woman to hold a degree in this, the first black person to hold to get a PhD in this science field, that science field, this.
You're welcome.
I'm just like, wait, oh yeah, it's gotta be you. I'm just so surprised that there's so many firsts.
But you know, this is where I was gonna go later, because let me tell you something that's irritated me for years. And let's talk about black music right quick, right? First and foremost, define to yourself what is black music.
Hip hop, rap,
Thank you for disappointing me.
R and
So
B.
that's one of the first thoughts. I mean, I was thinking.
Yeah, but that's just my point. Because here's the thing. I remember
Punk.
What?
Punk.
I was thinking blues, but yeah.
Not. Okay, let me.
We'll go into the music part of it later.
Hold
That's a
on.
whole.
Well, hold on. This is what I want to say about it, because when you talk about black support, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time me and my mom were talking about Jimi Hendrix, the person that truly changed the face of music. Like, he's basically essentially why metal exists. Like, no one played guitar like he did back in the day.
Right.
And my mom said, unfortunately, she doesn't think that he caught on with too many of our people back then, but he's kind of doing so now. But what's funny though is that there's two things about that I can criticize, because on one hand, I'm like, first and foremost, I can criticize black people for not really getting behind. I mean, I don't know why he didn't have the big black following back then. Honestly, I shouldn't criticize a time frame where I didn't exist.
I mean, I feel like, he probably came before his time where that would have been acceptable. Like,
Yeah.
you look at horrorcore rappers,
Oh, yeah.
grave diggers and
Flatliners.
flatliners. Like, I literally feel like if they would have came out like 10 years later, they would have been so much bigger.
Yeah.
And it's like I also feel that, but at the same time, another thing I want to point about Hendrix is that, when you support people, like, let me tell you something about Hendrix. Like, there was a lot of things about Black Power he didn't really get with. He was more on the. He didn't really. Don't quote me on this. You look this up your damn self. But from my understanding, from at least 2 or 3 different sources, he really didn't care about race like that. Like, he was just about, like, look, we're all people, we're all one. And this was in the 1960s, and you could look at that as being either naive at the time or ahead of his time. There's 2 ways to look at that, because one thing I always criticize is, like, I have an issue with a lot of people in this generation. They're like Team Martin Luther King or Team Malcolm X,
Right.
but they're not learning from both sides and all the sides of people that fought from different angles. Because the thing that people fail to really understand about both of them is that they both changed toward the end of their life.
Right, yeah. It's like people are literally forgetting that the reason that Malcolm X got murdered was because he just did a complete 180 on his ideals and his beliefs.
Mm-hmm. And arguably, you can say the thing for King. King got a little more radical towards the end of his beliefs, and he lost all support that the government was giving him. And the thing about that is that, see, especially nowadays, I mean, I haven't watched this Dave Chappelle thing. I don't know what he said. I don't know. But I'm seeing on my feed on Facebook, I'm seeing 2 different audiences to this. Some people are like,
I'm seeing 3 different audiences on mine.
Okay, 3 different,
I am probably not going to have an opinion.
I've actually seen it though
I also
to say.
haven't seen it yet, but I mean, that's why I don't have an opinion at the moment.
Okay.
But I want to understand. I want to understand the 2 audiences that you see,
So
and I'll tell you the third.
One group is like, he's transphobic, he's homophobic, he says very problematic jokes in today's climate, where the other side is that they're jokes, and if you sit through them, you will understand them. He's not sharing an opinion, he's making jokes.
And then there's the other side that says I 100% agree with him. He's our hero.
Yeah.
That's the third audience, and I agree. I understand with the first one, being upset and hurt, and I understand with the second one, also understanding the meaning of a joke,
Yeah.
too, and whatnot. I can tell you, me personally watching this, me having homosexual friends and friends that are trans
Mm-hmm.
that some of those jokes did kind of rub me in the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't even lie. Not in a way where it angered me, but who knows? Maybe 10 years ago I could have laughed at that, but at the same time I would have been laughing at Scary Movie. Now watching it, now being older and more mature, it's like those jokes don't hit the same way anymore and whatnot. And knowing people that are close and feel so emotional towards that and whatnot, it's I can't really laugh at their expense for that. Like I understand where he's coming from because he's coming from an entirely different age and whatnot,
And you know that's another
and
thing.
he doesn't understand it. But the people that weird me out are the people where they take his words seriously
Yeah.
in the sense of like no, he's telling truth. Like I totally agree with it. Like they take the jokes seriously and support his views.
And it's like, and see, here's my thing about it. Because one thing I think about first and foremost, like, okay, I get celebrities at the end of the day have their own points of view of things, but you're not gonna tell me Dave Chappelle isn't around these groups of people that he's making jokes of too. And again, like I said, I haven't watched it. I'll be the first to say. I mean, I was into the Chappelle show kind of when I was younger, but I didn't watch it religiously like a lot of people did. I mean, comedy's generally just not my thing. So I'm only recently kind of more and more getting into stand-ups. Now, one thing I'm gonna say though, to be honest with you, at the same time, and again, I have friends of various everything. I honestly pride myself on that.
Right.
And I'm gonna be real with you. Before it was cool too. You know. At the same time though, it's like when it comes to being offended by things, because over the years, my points of view, like with movies, have changed over the years, and there was things I could say that didn't offend me years ago that do now. There was things that did offend me years ago that don't now, and it's like it comes like I used to actually get offended every time someone made a hooker joke because my first sort of open door to like understanding other people. Prostitutes were the first on that list, like before any other group. So anytime I heard a joke about a hooker, that honestly did offend me. But now I feel different about that because I understand the ultimate meaning of those jokes, and a lot of them aren't necessarily like against hookers or that lifestyle or whatever. It's just making fun of the society that subjugates them. And those are the type of jokes a lot of people don't that misses a lot of people. Like if you take like Archie Bunker from All in the Family, or even Fred Sanford from saying you're not really supposed to agree with them. What they say is funny, even as offensive as they get, but at the end of the day, they're not good people. You're not supposed to idolize Peter Griffin or even a lot of our villains. Like we talk all the time about how we really felt Killmonger, but at the end of the day, we all understand he was wrong at the end of the day.
Right. And that's funny that you mentioned this because this was actually a conversation that me and my wife was having the other day, and this was actually concerning Boondocks, where some people felt like there was a lack of colorism in the cartoon, and
That there was colorism in the cartoon.
yes, sorry, there was a lack of color representation, I should say, in the cartoon and whatnot, and where they felt like a lot of the negative characters were dark skinned. And Thugnificent, Uncle Ruckus.
The old guy stink meaner.
Yeah, Stank Wiener.
They were always
And
dark-skinned.
I don't think a lot of people understood the fact that Boondocks is strictly satire.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to aspire or want to be any of the characters there because all the characters are there to serve a purpose to make a joke of a certain culture or mindset. Even with Huey, like we love Huey, but he literally is what became the woke community.
Yeah. It's funny because the woke community took him as their like mascot and they love using him on stuff. but he's making fun of, like, his entire character is a joke on that community.
Like someone that literally can't enjoy himself, always have to find the the deeper meaning or the wrong in what black people are doing.
Right.
And this definitely segued into the whole freaking Papa's chicken sandwich thing, where a lot of people was using that as to get blacks to vote. And it's like one post I saw was like, why can't we have fun? Like, no one got on white people when it came to Rick and Morty and Szechuan sauce.
Right?
Why can't we just have fun with the Papa's chicken sandwich?
No
Like,
one told them to go out and register to vote.
and then
Go to
Papa's is like fucking nationwide. Like, you're not going to tell me that the only people that was eating that sandwich was just blacks.
Yeah.
Stop that.
Right.
Like,
You know, I ain't. To be honest, I'm completely alien to that whole situation. Like, I know about it because it's popular and it's on my freaking news feed.
Dude,
And some of the memes
everybody.
were freaking hilarious.
they were.
But I enjoyed that.
You know, outside that, I ain't give a damn. I'm like, I really don't care.
Have anyone in this room tried the Papa's chicken sandwich yet?
No,
No, I want to.
Yeah,
though.
same here.
I don't.
I wanted to, but I literally came from off a 4-day water fast, and I was like, I'm not going to introduce my gut to that. I'm not introducing my gut flora
Yeah,
to that.
it's like, to be honest, I don't really have much to say about that because that's exactly what I
But
was
that's
saying.
okay. Here's the post that I didn't like though, where people would be like, "You going and giving Papas all your money, but you're not supporting your rapper's friend's concert, or you're not
Concerts.
doing a commission. You're not commissioning your artist and when that. And I usually see those things come up when it comes to people, black people, buying buying frivolous things and whatnot. And I'm like, yo, is it really that serious at the end of the day?
So, okay, now I'm gonna be real with you right quick.
One time for the one time.
Not speaking of that in particular, you know. But I mean, but hey, that's the whole point of this episode, talking about support and who to support, how to support, etc. Now, the thing about it, it's like, let me tell you how I support my friends. Like, okay, and again, luckily for me, most of my friends are doing things that I'm already kind of with. You know, they're either artists that do art that I legit like, music that I legitimately like. Like I'm gonna say I have the fortunates.
No.
Fortune.
No. Oh yeah, the fortune. Yeah.
Okay. I have the fortune to know some very gifted musicians who I can honestly say if they weren't my friends, I would still listen to them because their music is legitimately good. I don't know why I'm that lucky.
You could have also said that you was fortunate to know.
Shut up.
That's the word. Fortunate. Yes.
Man, I don't look. Hush.
Where's my cell phone? I want to take a picture. I want to take a selfie.
Oh. So and you know my friends are doing a lot of things. Now I want to bring up a bit of an argument that happened some time ago when a friend of mine posted something that morally I just couldn't ignore, and it was this. I'm just go ahead and say it. It was a Dane Calloway video. If you don't know who Dane Calloway is, basically he's a guy that has made these videos about how black people are the original Native Americans and that 98% of us are Native Americans. Slave ships didn't exist. He's all over YouTube. Every now and then I'll see somebody that doesn't know history post one of his silly videos. And I got in an argument with someone I really care for about that. Now, me and said person did come to a strong understanding because he understands that I've been studying African history for a very long time. I'm also Cherokee, and I do not tolerate anyone. First off, I'm a lover of history in general. I don't tolerate anyone misconstruing history because that's one thing that's been used against us as black people as a whole anyway, and that's just wrong in general to all integrity of any form. So when I see something that's historically incorrect, I'm gonna hop on it regardless of who is posting it or standing behind it. but the reason I bring this up is because one reason my friend had posted in the first place was because said Dane Calloway actually went to school with this person years ago, and they he came to him personally about promoting his videos. So when me and my friend talked about it, came to an understanding. I told him, I'm like, listen, man, I understand supporting your friends. We all want to do that. But there's certain things you just can't mess with. And you can't mess with facts. This isn't your friend's awful rap music, alright? This isn't your friend's, iffy artwork. This is history we're talking about. I think two things you cannot mess with is history and people's health and well-being. If you're going to get involved in those subject matters, you have to absolutely get the facts down. And that's something I'm so concerned about, especially with our people. Because, like I said, I have a freaking photo of over damn near 800 pictures of ancient Africa with as much information as I could put in there. I'm constantly referencing it and talking about, I do not shut up about ancient Africa. If you just met me, I'm going to tell you about the reign of ancient Benin. You will know African history once you're done with me. So when I see anyone, misconstrue that, I have to hop on. You should see the arguments I hop on with people. I was on archaeological and history jokes, and someone was like, Africans didn't build nothing. They never sailed across the sea, and I immediately showed him, I cannot remember the name of the ship, but a Somalian ship that did sail and trade with people around in the region.
I'm sorry, but
really quick.
If humans populated the world and it's agreed upon that we all came from Africa, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, that doesn't.
But that's just my point. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to go on a rant about history here, but long story short, I don't think there's a on and off button to supporting your friends. It depends honestly on what it is, and you have an obligation to your own personal ethics and morality. It's like,
right.
I definitely I never support my friends without some personal opinionated words. Like I know we had a
Well, okay. Let me ask you this: do you ever support your friends without viewing their work first? And the same question goes to you.
I have to think about that, to be honest.
My support will come in encouragement, and a lot of times, I don't know my friends' work, but I want them. They seem really excited about what they're doing. I will encourage them. That's my support. If that's what you mean.
I'll tell you, I had a friend that he opened a what's it?
Bodega.
What's that again?
Corner store. Normally run by a person of color.
No. It was
what?
It was was it a? It wasn't a shop. It was a crap.
Hold on, you know someone that owns a hookah shop?
No. It wasn't that. But it was a.
Is it something with smoking? Is
Pretty
it
much, yeah.
edibles?
Yeah, it's like a Spanish
Weed?
Latin market.
What's
But
it?
I've seen like.
I'm sorry, what? Wait, hold on, what are you talking about?
Sorry, bodega.
Oh my goodness.
Because I said a person of color, but I actually wanted me to give you like a specific race.
What are
Honestly,
you
say
talking about?
Up and down, all colors.
It has something to do with weed. I'll put it that way. I can't remember exactly. There's a word here I'm missing. Long story short, I don't smoke weed. I'm not a weed person. I have nothing against weed either, though. And he seemed passionate about this. I'm like, yeah, I'll share your stuff. Like, I have no problem with that, because I know I have other friends that are into that. So it's like, it's not my thing, but it's not for me to share something on my timeline about that. If someone is I'm trying to think of something else I shared. There's a lot of people that do different things, but of course I share my friends' photos, who are photographers, my friends' films. It's like I said, it's not it's not really that simple, because you do have to check people. your friends, your entertainers. Because at the end of the day, there are some things that need to be straight up addressed. It's like if someone's doing like, let's say, black comics, right? But I'm gonna be real. Me personally, I'm very anal about storytelling, especially coming from black people, because I'm like, I feel like the thing about it, at the end of the day, like it or not, we gotta compete with the rest of the world. And if we're putting out product out there that isn't up to par, it's like it'll hurt. I personally feel like it hurts us more than helps us. It's like I was talking with someone the other day about blaxploitation films and gangster rap, and I was like, the thing about it, I'm a fan of both those things, but they had a double-edged effect because we ended up with a lot of stereotypes about ourselves around the world, and I don't think that's a fault of our own. Blaxploitation happened because black actors were not getting work back in the '70s. Gangster rap exists because people were in a very dire situation because of poverty and violence, and they had a voice, and they found a way out of that situation that they were in, and people took advantage of that.
But at the same time, like I don't mean to be like a conspiracy theorist. Don't you think that it's kind of weird that these these type of media, because like okay, you had gangster rap, you had blaxploitation films, but if I remember correctly, Ganja and Hess wasn't a blaxploitation film.
And that's exactly why it was buried. Because and when you say conspiracy, like here's the thing.
Well, I didn't get this. I didn't get to state the conspiracy, but isn't it weird that gangster rap and blaxploitation films were the things that white people chose to produce and to back that had these negative connotations on our people?
Now here's the thing. There's no conspiracy there. That's exactly what happened. Because like going back to Ganja and Hess. Ganja and Hess, I've talked about before, I'm gonna remind y'all, was a very artsy driven.
I've seen it, but also fell asleep on it.
You brought it up, so I respect
It's a very artsy black vampire horror drama film. Something that those combination of words you don't hear basically.
Yeah, it's extremely artsy, and for me, the artsy films kind of, I won't say it go over my head. It's kind of hard to follow. Like I'm a kind of Neff man that really likes a good story, and artsy films, they just don't really do anything for me. Like walking to a museum and staring at abstract art. I'm not a big fan of that.
And that's understandable. Also, I'm gonna criticize that in a minute. Because there's a great show called I cannot remember. Oh my god. Oh my god. It came on HBO or one of those shows called something of Flyness. Random Acts of Flyness. Very artsy black show. If you've never seen it, it's really hard to come to.
I've seen one episode.
Yes. And that's been the thing. I mean, like again.
That was also weird. I didn't care for it.
Anyway.
He's kind of hard to please.
Yes.
I'm not hard to please.
You're
I like
very
stuff.
freaking.
I'm just saying I like sequential stuff. I like stuff with a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yeah, I hate those. So
That's good. That's written well. Like I like character dialogue. I like plots. I like surprises and stuff like that. Like it's just hard to follow certain things where it's like anything can happen or
But
whatever.
Ashley, hold on, Ashley.
Are you saying Ashley, or are you calling me Ashley?
I thought you were
So Ashley, but no, Ashley, you know what? Ashley, I'm gonna give you something, because that's exactly what this episode is about. Because here's another thing about Ganja Hess was way ahead of his time. Because now we've got shows like Atlanta. Now we have, like I said, Random Acts of Flyness. Now we have I'm Sorry to Bother You. Those movies are hitting heavily on surrealism. And as now I saw this post called Black Surrealism is Here, and I have mixed feelings about things about being here that were already here, if you actually did for things. But anyway.
What does surrealism mean? I'm asking for the audience.
You literally have a cell phone in your hand.
Alright, there I go. I thought he would give me like a nice, okay, surrealism is
You
Having the
looked at
qualities of
really
bizarre.
fast.
A mixture of fact and fantasy. I,
Yes.
yeah,
And you know, here's the thing. The reason I hesitated honestly is because it's a hard work. It's like I know it when I see it, but when it comes to describing it, I'm like, I don't know how to tell you what that word is.
yeah, if I were to actually describe it, I know what surrealism is, but I would give you random thing like examples
it's
and not the real definition.
just like a Salvatore.
Isn't it also kind of like a feeling too? Like
Yeah,
you can feel like something can feel surreal.
Bizarre, uncanny, strange, dreamlike, fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a
There
fun
we
word.
go. Yeah. So you know, well, I mean, Ganja has more is more artsy than surreal. That I will say. But long story short, what I'm getting at is that basically the counter.
I will try to watch it again when it's not so late.
Yeah, because it's also kind of a slow movie too. So, but one thing I want to
Super
point out,
slow.
the counter to Ganja Hess was basically Black Love, a movie that I cannot watch for the life of me nowadays. That movie is so cringe.
Oh man.
It's a classic, but it's a classic cringe. But that movie was heavily blaxploitative, you know, and it's not a conspiracy. I mean, it's definitely what happened. I mean, you know, because at the end of the day, even though those movies did give us empowering figures like, you know, like Coffee and Foxy Brown and Shaft and Superfly and whatnot, there was still consequence to that. And same thing with gangster rap. Gangster rap has empowering figures as well. And to be honest, most real gangster rap does have a legitimate message about getting out the hood and the dangers of their life. But what's promoted by major record companies is the glorification of that. And you know, gang life, no matter you're talking about whether it's black gangs or the mafia or whatever, it's really appealing to a lot of people. Because at the end of the day, those are basically like mini governments, and they reflect a lot of like the ancient world for a lot of people. And again, like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and blame the artists involved. It's just that there was a lot of unforeseen consequences that kind of came with not understanding the big picture. And you know, like there's people around the world who basically only see us in that view, even though we were doing, you know, again, we're a diverse group of people that do various things. You know, a lot of things. A lot of people don't know that there was black biker groups back in like the early days. In fact, arguably the first significant biker was a black woman named Betsy. I can't remember her last name, but she rode cross country back in I believe the 30s.
Or like with what I was saying about punk, or you know, punk rock bands. There was quite a few black punk rock bands that was leading the movement.
Death was a band that was pretty much overshadowed, and arguably, and this is what I'm gonna say about punk. Arguably, they were pioneers, even though they arguably didn't have much of an effect on the actual genre. But the fact is, they were around before most punk bands that like the Sex Pistols or the Clash. But you also had Pure Hell, which was around before these other more well-known groups. Of course, it was Bad Brains, another black group. But of course, but this goes back to what I was saying about music, about how black people have always been kind of bad at supporting our very music genres because, you know, I guess because rock and roll kind of got stolen as well as taken over by white people. And yes, those are two different things because a lot of white musicians that did rock and roll did in fact credit us and support us. But you also had ones that stole from us as well, like legitimately straight up stole the rights to the music. And arguably, we just kind of let rock and roll go, so it became known as, you know, white music, which it really isn't. But at the same time, when we talk to music about, like, whether it be punk, shock rock, or goth, you cannot talk about those genres without acknowledging Screaming Jay Hawkins, someone else I would never shut up about.
Yeah, I like your voice.
Because, you know, he made that song, I Put a Spell on You, which essentially was the first shock rock song, which inspired the likes of Arthur Brown, Alice Cooper, Nick Cave? Yeah, Nick Cave, I think, and various others. Like, there would not really be a goth genre or shock rock without those, just like there wouldn't be punk without rock and roll. there would not be metal without Hendrix. You know, Grace Jones was gender bending and she was crossing boundaries between reggae and disco and avant-garde. Like, you know, I'm like, and it's like these people never really get that acknowledgement, but they mostly get it from white audiences.
Which is a very interesting thing that you say, because specifically with "Put a Spell on You" by Screaming Jay Hawkins, that really blew up.
Heck yeah.
Like 20, 30 years later, when Hocus Pocus came out, the movie.
Yeah, you had countless people doing covers for
There's
it.
several covers from Marilyn
Yeah.
Manson to, like I said, the birthday party to the Annie Lennox to
The
Nina
movies did their
Simone,
own cover, like
Creedence Clearwater. I could go on.
with no real credit or acknowledgement on who Screaming Jay Hawkins was. Specifically about Hocus Pocus.
Screaming Jay
I didn't know about it
Hawkins
until you told me about it.
unfortunately didn't make money off of that, and that's another reason why Jim
That's pretty
Jarmusch
fucked up.
is also invited to the cookout. You don't know who Jim Jarmusch is? He did Ghost Dog, the movie Ghost Dog, as well as a bunch of other great movies. I'm not gonna get into details of what he did with Screaming Jay Hawkins, but let's just say he bypassed the record company and made sure Screaming Jay got money off of his acting in Mystery Train.
Wow, that's pretty.
Yeah, Jim Jarmusch is the real deal. He's on the Wu-Tang Clan documentary talking about how America is basically in apartheid. He's real. I like
Wait,
him.
hold on. Are you saying that Screaming Jay Hawkins wouldn't have got paid money for his role on Mystery Train?
No, he Jim Jarmusch made it clear. First off, he's a fan of Screaming Jay, but see, he used that song "I'll Put a Spell on You" in Dancer in the Dark.
Mm-hmm.
But he found out that it went to the record company, but it didn't go to Screaming Jay Hawkins. So he sought out Screaming Jay Hawkins and to get his personal permission to use that song, because at the end of the day, that was his song, regardless of what the law or the legal crap is.
Mm-hmm.
So he found Screaming Jay, I think, in a trailer actually, and asked him personal permission if he could use that song. Screaming Jay was like, yeah, of course, because Screaming Jay is a really nice guy. But he also gave him a role, a very defined role in Mystery Train.
Yeah.
And he told Screaming Jay, "You're getting paid for this role. I'm gonna make sure you get paid for it, because you basically deserve way more than what you get." He's like, "A person like you should not be living out in a trailer, doing shows for money." Because he made one of the most iconic songs in history. It's like, you may not know Screaming Jay Hawkins, but you know I put a spell on you one way or another.
Right.
That's one of the most iconic songs in the
That's
world.
sad. I never knew that
Mm-hmm.
either. That he
Yeah.
got shortchanged like that.
And it's like, and on one hand, it's like, I'm glad that Jim Jarmusch, who's a white man, is so human. First of all, I'm not even gonna call him woke, because I despise that terminology. But
Yeah, at this point.
because to be honest, it's really about being human, to recognize that every single person on this planet, regardless of their race or whatever, is like you on some level. And
Yeah,
we're
and
all
they
at
have
the
something
core
to
the same
offer.
people. So he realizes the type of world we live in and the type of ugly effect racism has, but he's also not suffering from white guilt necessarily. He's just a person that sees what the truth is and says, "I'm gonna do my part to combat that," and so Jim Jarmusch, he used his privilege as a filmmaker, as a white filmmaker at that, an independent filmmaker, to really put someone who's deserving of more out there, as he could. But at the same time, it's like, and again, I'm not gonna sit here and criticize black filmmakers, because to be honest, they give back, especially back in the '80s and the '90s, they gave a lot of roles to a lot of Asian black actors who were pretty much, outside of their career at that point. Like, they were kind of big back in the blaxploitation era, but they were kind of fading out into like the later generations. But they still got roles, But I just want to point out the fact that oftentimes too much, we don't really support a lot of people who aren't popular. A lot of things that aren't popular, but black people are heavily involved in. Like, I remember one time I was at the Fetish Ball in DC. Yeah, I'm into that. And as we were leaving,
That's something that never touched, to be honest.
yeah, we just got off the whole thing about foot fetishes. I'm like, why is this?
That was in the beginning part. I completely forgot.
But as we were leaving out, all of us are black. It's like 4 of us, I think. all of us are black, and we were leaving. One of the bouncers was black, and he just kind of looked at us and said, "Thank you for representing." And I didn't fully get what he was saying until much later. And it's like, the thing about it, you had no choice but to represent. Everything you do, you represent. You know, if you're a freaking musician, you represent. If you're a freaking artist, you represent. If you work at a convenience store, you represent. Because all these things are numbers. We're all numbers to a greater design of all things happening in the world. So when we specifically decide to support things, that representation gets elevated to the mainstream to where it is seen. That's why like black cosplaying is such a amazing thing right now, because you're really seeing like, yes, we're freaking dorks too.
Yes.
Like we always have been.
And it's black solidarity. That's the most important aspect of it. Is not just the representation, but the solidarity behind that representation. We need that.
And it's like, and when I was going to that with music, like a lot of people don't know who Sun Ra is. Like this guy, again, I'm not gonna get too into it, but long story short, he was doing the Afro futurism basically before anyone. Like he started this back in the 40s. He's a jazz musician who will later go into avant-garde and space music. And he has a movie called Space is the Place. You can watch it on YouTube. Watch it before it gets taken down.
Why would it get taken down?
Because life is a banana split.
Okay.
I don't know what I meant by that. Anyway, but what the reason I point out him, you know, and the thing about what I also want to point out is that I specifically search out like these weirdo blacks and these less known blacks because they were doing their own thing where blacks was being pigeonholed. And we as black people also pigeonholed ourselves. But people like Screaming Jay Hawkins, Sun Ra, Grace Jones, Living Color, Bad Brains, Death, the punk band, Pure Hell, Tracy Chapman, I can go on. We're doing their own things despite what they were being told to do, despite what white people wanted, despite what black people wanted. They were saying, this is what I'm into, this is what I'm going to do, and this is happening. You know? And I'm always going to support that because to me, those are the people that are truly the individuals. And we must understand as black people, we're individuals. We don't have to cater or pander to anybody, you know? And that's what I support the most. So that's why I'm really strict with what I support because, I mean, I'm 100% down.
Niched.
Eh?
Pigeonhole means like to be niched.
Yes.
So they were in a very selective niche that was very small.
Yeah.
Like a pigeonhole. Okay. So
And that's why, and you know, and that's why I don't shove off like old school horrorcore because that is its own art form in a way because it was combining hip hop with horror in a very unique and realistic way. It was very surreal, honestly. And I support these things because, like I said, we black people. I mean, the thing about white people, they're free enough to explore all these different sides of themselves. That's why sometimes when white people
without a lot of their people questioning it.
exactly, you know,
Like you literally have it where it's like people on a unbiased note, our people on an unbiased note hear a song and they agree that they love it. This song is dope. This song is good. They listen to it. They listen to it with their girl. They listen to it with their kids. Their kids sing it or whatever. Let them find out that the person who made the song was gay.
yeah,
yeah.
Then everything changed. We saw that with Frank Ocean. See that with people with Lil Nas X and whatnot. And it's like it's crazy. I mean, I feel like we have to change, just like in the whole sense where there's no acting black.
yeah.
All black people are different, and that also comes down to sexual orientation too.
And you know, on that, to me, you know, no one signed a contract to come in the world. This world is any race, right? No one signed a damn contract. Me personally, the only thing I ever require from black people, and I guess it's the same with everyone, but specifically black people, is like learn your history and understand your culture. That's it. Other than that, do whatever the hell you want. And I say that because once you learn your history, understand your culture, you can identify with it, and you can understand the overall sort of global family you kind of do have. Because the one thing I do think is great about Pan Africanism is that you a lot of people don't understand that in old Africa, you know, we were not black people. We were Yoruban, we were Malian, we were all these different groups.
Different cultures.
Different cultures, different races, actually, as a matter of fact. But when slavery happened...
Okay, what do y'all mean when y'all say... Because Anna said different races, too. I thought we were like the same race. Yeah, you did.
I did.
Well, actually, no.
Different races in Africa.
The Negroid is the most diverse group on the planet. Like,
right, yeah, but I don't know. I don't like using the term, like, I don't know, like racist. Though, I mean, because we're all like, okay, like we're all African, but it's like, it's different cultures, different tribes. You get what I'm saying?
Well, different
There's
genes
some,
too.
yeah, genetic differences.
You know,
I mean, but that's going way deep into
But then
I don't
it
know.
brings up like the whole scientific thing of like, that's not a varying enough degree. You get what I'm saying?
Well, this is okay. I'll say this. This is because even race in ancient times meant something different than what we call it today. You know, nowadays we consider race by skin tone, but back then, race was actually more of a cultural thing.
Yeah, because they call the Persians their own race, the Persian race,
Yeah.
or their Arabic race. Though that's me reading from out of context from historical texts and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if I said race, I don't necessarily see it as such, but I kind of do. I get where it's coming from, but we've modernized and what's the word? Conglomerated, in a sense, for lack of a better term.
Probably.
Groups marginalized. We've marginalized groups into key
Just
6
one.
races. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know
Even though
what?
some people be calling other people a race, even though it's actual a nationality.
that too.
That's the
I think that's the
the
main
whole
thing.
thing.
It's just the dividing of nationalities.
And-
Yeah.
But what I want to say about that is, long story short, we were of different groups,
Right.
and those groups are for the most part recognized in Africa today. Where us as Pan Africans or slavery descent, we all were just kind of thrown together.
Right.
But we sort of developed our own sort of identity above all that. And it's like, I personally think that's amazing because we're really the only group of people that I know of that has really done that. It's like, Pan-African, we chose to be black and identify, and again, not everyone chose to be identified as black, but what I'm trying to say is that we look at each other as a collective one, like, community, where regardless of what your genes are and whatnot, the fact is we're looked at this way and we identify with this sort of collective African, you know, in a way. And that's a very unique thing that honestly should be embraced. 'Cause we've done a lot with it.
It is. Like, it hurts, like, when I see certain people that they would say, oh, just because you see me in the office or whatever, and, you know, we're both black, that doesn't mean that we got to talk or something like that. And it's like, you know, when I work in my day job, and, you know, I happen to catch eye contact with, you know, black people, and, you know, we acknowledge each other and whatnot, and I think that's one of the dopest things ever. I mean, yes, stereotypically you don't have to talk, but, you know, at the same time, why not? You know, because like you said, it's that union
Yeah.
and whatnot.
I
And
agree with that unity too.
for me, it's like seeing LaShawn Thomas and his work. I'm like, that's something that I aspire for, with the projects that me and Anna are working on, to, you know, do comic books and hopefully see those comic books become cartoons. So I'm definitely proud of the brother for laying down the path.
Yeah.
And I do want to meet him too.
Yeah, definitely. We
because
probably
I
never
work-
will after this. He's
Yeah,
probably gonna
we
think that we're
won't.
fucking weird
Oh,
and
okay,
shit.
yeah, that's true.
But
But if we had a chance to, it wouldn't diminish any way my want to meet him and to talk with
Yeah,
him.
because I mean,
What he's done, that still holds significance.
yeah,
And what he's doing is
amount
still.
of knowledge and stuff, and I really hope that he uses his platform to put other people on,
I
because
think that's the important part.
what he did, what he's doing is dope and whatnot. And even though we might not agree with it, I still feel compelled to support him.
And sometimes you have to support an idea above preference. It's like,
Yeah.
Like I said with Black Panther, it's like there's a lot I could still criticize with that movie, but I like the idea that movie in particular and what it was so freaking successful.
And what it meant.
And what it meant.
I think that's
Yeah.
the important part is what it means for us as a whole, this wholesomeness. And then you asked the question of Beyonce. You don't have to support or love her music, but I mean, in the idea of supporting or caring for what she has done for Black women across the world, for Black young girls. Um, that is really important. That platform, that representation, that's a lot of solidarity and what it means.
And now on that though, I wanna just go on one thing. Now, I mean, I definitely agree with that.
For those who are good.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
mean,
important part.
here at the end of the day, you gotta be more than Black and successful. You also gotta be freaking good. Like,
Good in the
I'll
sense
be
of
real.
like as a very general moral compass.
Whoa.
Because R. Kelly is a good example.
I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
Cannon Busters has at least a better animation than compared to Fire Force. I don't know. A lot of people might hate me for saying that,
No,
but
no, Fire
But you
Force
know,
looks
I feel like the anime director on
But
the
yeah.
animation director for that is like
But you know, at
he's
the
out of
same
his
There's a lot of anime tossed out.
atmosphere.
That is trash, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but another thing I was gonna say, I mean, this was covered in an older podcast, actually, while I was saying where, I mean, I'm a creator, I'm gonna do my dang thing, I've been doing my dang thing, and I make sure, I always question myself. I'm thinking, is this me or am I pandering or am I copying or am I regurgitating? It's like,
Those are good questions, though.
and it's like, regardless of what gets put out there, whether I support it or not, the fact is, you're always going to have people that throw out copies and trash and whatnot. The thing about it, if you're a creator, you have to ask yourself, how can I top that? Because at the end of the day, there's always going to be this sort of respectable competition that must be provided by all of us. I mean, hey, that's what jazz musicians did back in the day.
That's actually something I want to bring up in later episode and whatnot, because that's one thing that
There's one to that.
I just want to touch on it. But is competition really real? And that's definitely going to be brought up in another conversation. But we're going to end this
Yeah.
with MDC giving a shout out.
Go ahead, DC. Tell us all about it.
Oh, yes. So, I had a bit of an interesting summer. I worked on my first official budgeted feature this year. It's called Bundles. Now, I was not the director of this. I was actually the prop master and stunt coordinator. And
Pretty toy.
yeah, it was quite the adventure. It's too late to really get into it now. But I just want to point out the fact that this is a movie. Y'all already know me as a bit of a really strict anal ass. And,
Yes.
I'm going to have like a thing of how many times that he refers to himself as a anal or asshole. It's been 3 times so far.
I'm the bottom of intestines.
Okay.
That's disgusting. Anyway, one thing I just want to point out real quick is how much I personally really did believe in the script. I remember when I first heard the storyline, I was like, this is quite different and interesting. And the thing about it, I do believe it's definitely going to catch a cult following. It's quite a standout story. It's actually kind of original. It's not something I've seen or even heard of being done before.
I say it's very original from like the glimpses that I've seen.
Are you able to like, I know you're not, it's still in production, so you're not able to really tell us much about it. Are you at least able to like say the name or whatever?
Oh, yes, the name
Or give a
is
shout out to the
Bundles.
production company?
Yeah, the name is Bundles. It's associated with I don't know how associated it is, but I'm just gonna throw out Indigo Republic. And
Woo
Free
woo.
Yourself Productions.
Nice.
Well, double will.
But I just want to point out the fact that this movie really does.
Who's the creator?
It was written by Cap Hill, who was also
Triple will.
also a musician rapper. Directed by directed and co-directed by Jeffrey Leslie and Red's
That's my homie.
Shout out.
last name.
You said shut up.
Shout out.
Oh, shout out.
Red's James. I'm so sorry. And
Wait, Rez is actually her first name?
I mean, I don't. Anyway,
Like you literally just put out her government name as if I thought that was a pseudonym.
I don't know.
Oh my
That's why
goodness.
they'll do to him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Put
okay.
me on the spot. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm definitely, man. I'm looking forward. Like I can't wait to see the movie and whatnot. Like I really wanted to be a part of it, but with work and stuff, it really was not going to be able to happen. I've been on a movie set a couple of times. It's extremely boring.
I slept on the movie set, like in the car.
Yes, for Remember the 31st. Yes.
Which is,
And by the way,
we talked about this, promoting our black artists. Right?
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so
This season,
tell us. Yeah.
we'll be looking forward to Always Remember the 31st.
Always remember the 31st.
Written and directed by me.
Mhm.
In fact, I'm finishing the script as we speak, as a matter of fact. What the?
I have no idea. My sound is off, so that scared the crap out of me. I'm so sorry.
Okay. So,
My sound is off, so I'm so sorry. That was my phone. I don't know what happened. I just pulled up the app. I was about to throw my phone to the floor.
but look forward to that show as well this October. Or, coming up on the hills of Halloween.
Gotta.
Woo.
Remember the 31st if you have not. But yes.
Remember the 31st. Remember the 31st. Remember, I kill people like turtles, pumpkins. My name is Eli, ooh, bye, ooh.
Neff,
Huh?
shut up.
Sorry.
So,
I appreciate you.
definitely look forward to Always Remember the 31st coming up this Halloween, and look forward to bundles. I believe towards I'm the wrong person to ask when it's coming out, but I would say definitely by the end of this year or
More like,
next year.
well, we never asked you. You're more like the wrong person to tell.
Don't worry, we'll put up a promo on Netflix. He handles all the tech stuff. Yep.
Yes. But I just wanted to say, I just wanted to point out that this is definitely a project I really did believe in, because it just handles so many different issues, but also gives us a really fun and exciting story that takes us a few turns. And I had a lot of fun. This was very trying production. A lot of things happened during this production. I'm not gonna get into it. It's freaking sad.
But they were puppies. And
There was
pets.
a bunch of dogs.
Yeah, and you had a top-notch crew with people that you worked with before
Yes,
and
as
whatnot.
well as
So
new
definitely
people who we'll work with them.
in your element. They already passed the awkward phase of meeting you for the first time.
I'm talking about this. So y'all hear us saying this, but we really drill it home. Support your black artists, your local black artists, your black film directors, your black cinematographers, your black comic artists, your black singers, rappers, your black creators. Because we're
Right,
there,
yeah.
we're local, we're here.
I mean, support, right? I feel like support and be honest too.
Yeah, and be honest.
Yeah.
Because we want to hear sometimes. A lot of us do want to hear about what didn't hit with you.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Besides the fact that I'm not into this thing. No, tell us. What about it wasn't you into? It's not that we're trying to pander, but we are trying to improve.
Yeah.
And even
The whole point is to build up, not to tear down.
exactly. And we all have growth as well. Audience as well as creators. There's lots
I have
of
one on my arm.
There's mine.
Yeah, you have to. There's might need to be open, but the only person that can open it is yourself.
Africa was called the dark content for centuries. There's
Still
no need-
do, brother. That's what I refer to. I'm about to get a shirt.
There's no need for us to remain in our own dark continent over here.
Yeah, that's a great way to leave it on.
Yeah, that's a better shirt.
We must all enlighten ourselves
Mhm.
and explore more and support each other as best we can.
Yeah, and also let's tell these people where they can follow us.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. My Instagram and Facebook are Midnight Designs. For Instagram, it's Midnight_Designs. My Twitter is Midnight.
But how do you spell that?
Oh yeah, no spelling. It's MIDDNITE.
Yeah, I'm also gonna put that in the comments. Underscore
Yes.
DESIGNS
Yes.
for Instagram. And MDC, where can they find you at?
You can find me on IG as well as Facebook and Etsy. Really.
Oh yeah, Etsy.
Yeah, on
Same name.
on Facebook is artist MDC. On Instagram is artist_MDC. On Etsy is MDC's visual line.
Ooh, that's nice.
That's dope. Okay, and if you want to follow me, just follow me on the Main Artist Wife Writer Husband podcast on Instagram. Artist, I don't even know. It's gonna be in the
It's
comments,
AWWH.
and then you can follow us on Artist Wife Writer Husband podcast. Boom, spaces where it's supposed to be. Podcast is one word. On Facebook, I normally be on that. If you ever want to talk, hit us up and whatnot. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And let us know. The comment. Let us know.
Yes.
How do you support?
How do you feel right supporting black projects that you don't really feel 100 with? And also, would you have sex with your clone?
Yeah.
We like to know. Let us know.
Are you a narcissist?
We're and with that, it's
We out. It's Artist Wife Midnight.
Writer Husband Neff.
Ooh.
MDC. We out. Peace.